Meditation Seminar Week 6.
Since our practice time is taking longer, I guess our speaking time will be shorter. On the back of this chart, this time I included a little graph that I did for a class in Theosophy. And look on the very back. Now on the very back, you have on your left side a list of what are called the lokas. And the lokas are the astral sheaths of the world. A lot of times in anthroposophy they talk about when you incarnate coming through the 7 planetary systems. Those are the lokas. And we live in these 7 astral sheaths, or the lokas, sometimes called the astral light. And these are very much associated with the chakras. You can say the conditions that create the lokas are the chakras. So the chakras are the reality, the spiritual conditions that as you incarnate, you actually incarnate into the place of your destiny. And as you do, you actually bring an orientation to the lokas. And in a sense, in Devakan, which is sort of heaven, the time between death and rebirth, you have designed how you will orient yourself to the lokas so that you may carry out your destiny or karma. So as we incarnate, we go through the lokas. And as we go through the lokas, a microcosm of the astral light is created for our own being. And those are called the koshas. And so associated with each of our chakras, we have this mentality. The chakras are a condition of reality. And the koshas are like a mental product, similar to the astral light, the lokas, that we as individual beings have associated with our chakras. We can think of them as layers, eventually, of the freed etheric. But the freed etheric actually has different layers of mentality, and these are called the koshas. Now the work we do in Cakras1, even though it is engaging the chakras, is with the koshas. This is one of the things that hasn't been understood so much in the West. It hasn't been brought explicitly from the East to the West. And people many times will say they're doing chakra work. No way, Jose. You're not doing chakra work. You're doing work with the koshas. We don't have access to the chakras. We have access to these mental products of the chakras. And we engage the astral content with the koshas, with our mental capacity. And in doing so, we begin to vibrate or stimulate the chakras if we are effective. Now, most of the effects that we experience in the practice of meditation is actually an effect on the kosha. When we get all the buzzes, all the symptoms, those are in the kosha. If you purify the Muladhara chakra, then you would be a phenomenal being, only the first chakra. If you actually overcame all the bound ways that personality is bound, even the first chakra, then you would be recognizable as a saint or a spiritual being or someone who had achieved a great deal of enlightenment. So we aren't usually doing very much to the chakras at all. We are actually just buzzing around in our koshas, which are mental as opposed to spiritual in their real essence. But we are attempting to awaken the Kundalini, steer it in the chakras and to purify the chakras and have the Kundalini rise. And in doing that, then we make significant progress spiritually. And that is the goal, but it's very seldom the result, I'm afraid.
So is the koshas, are they, I'm trying to think metaphorically, are they like looking at the chakras through shades, or are they like dealing with a middleman or a secretary to the chakras who passes on? I mean, what?
Think of the koshas as concept, and the actual thing is the chakra. Mm-hmm. And so you have the concept, and then you want to bring you want to utilize the concept to bring the actual reality, to contact the actual reality. So koshas are like concept. They're not the actual object, the actual condition, reality that the concept refers to. And so through that living concept of a kosha, we can engage it. We can engage it with the astral content. We can say, we can make that kosha, the concept, more pure, more resonant with the reality. See, the concept, the kosha, is out of resonance. It doesn't really reflect reality. It's like having a poor model of the universe. So we're living in a poor model of the universe. These koshas, our koshas, are making a pure model of the actual spiritual reality. In Cakras1, we're trying to bring this model back in line with the actual astral reality. And in doing so, enter into a resonance with that and have predictable effects in our spiritual life by virtue of now having a clear concept of that reality. And you can see, so associated really with each of the chakras, the one I don't have on here is one that we really don't work with, the Annamaya kosha, which is associated with the actual Muladhara chakra. The kosha above the chakra is the one that works on it. So when we're actually doing our work with the Muladhara chakra, we're actually using the Kamamaya kosha to do that work. And so those koshas are the tool that we're using, trying to, I call clarify the kosha, because the koshas are unclear. You know, the concepts are ambiguous. The mentality has been confused by our learning as we have developed. We have learned things because of karma and heredity that takes us out of our destiny and gives us a picture of the world that doesn't really allow for our growth. So I'm using the word learning, and growth is different. I'm using growth to be positive and learning to be a more general activity that we do in development. There's development that's growth, which moves us toward our destiny, moves us toward our karmic work. And then there's learning, which is general, which doesn't necessarily move us. It develops us, but it doesn't move us toward achieving our destiny. And so, as due to heredity, the hereditary impulses, we have learning that doesn't take us. And then that learning becomes our personality, and then we project that personality outward. And it creates a boundary between the true loka world, the actual life that we created in Devakan, so that we would have a place in the world that would allow us to do our work, and it creates a boundary between that reality that would serve us and our own spirit on our own chakras. So we have this boundary, and so the world is sort of pushed. So in a sense, we can't gain true knowledge about our spiritual work because of that boundary. Now, if you look at the page behind the chart, I'll give you a little sense of how this development works. So when we incarnate and we come through the locus, at each point we actually send out a vibration. We create a vibrational reality that is unique to us as we come through the 7 planets or come through the locus. Now this is really, later on, in the higher level, will be a spiritual resource to our early development. If this hadn't taken place, there wouldn't really be any life. But and possibly they call it the model body. We generate up here in these higher koshas and lokas the vibrational uniqueness that will later, when we begin to develop